Welcome to Stoner Watch, and this is my open spoiler discussion for Jurassic World's Camp Cretaceous Season 3. And if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button and click on that bell so you get notified for future videos. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yes, I just got done watching Camp Cretaceous Season 3 on Netflix, and I gotta say, this show is just awesome, man. I mean, just awesome. Now, I did not think that they actually were going to be able to top what we saw in Season 1 and 2, and somehow or another, they were actually able to pull it off. I think that Zack Stentz and crew are just did a fabulous job for this season. I mean, they actually did an awesome job just on this series as a whole. At least they did, in my opinion. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Now, Leah, Artwick, and Lindsay Kerns have the honor on kicking this awesome season off. Now, here's a list of the other writers and directors for this season. Again, there's really no pictures I can find for these people, but I think they deserve the credit for all the fabulous work they did on this season. So here's the list of their names and what episodes that they worked on. We were treated to 10 episodes in this season instead of just the 8 that we got in the previous 2 seasons. Now, I don't know why they added 2 extra episodes to this third season. I mean, none of them felt like they were filler. I mean, that was kind of like a little bit of a concern of mine. They added 2 more extra episodes that I thought, oh man, did they do this because they think this is going to be like the last season? Because let's face it, Netflix is infamous for like having a really good show on for like 2 or 3 seasons, and after that they cancel it. So I don't know. I mean, and there still really isn't no official word whether or not if we're actually going to get a season 4. I mean, because they went past the films, and I thought that was a really cool thing in this season because they actually established on how long the kids have been on this island. We find out that they've been there for 6 months. So they managed to survive on an island full of deadly dinosaurs for 6 months. You got to give the kids credit for that one, right? Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Now, throughout the first 2 seasons, we kept on getting little hints that Dr. Wu and crew were up to something else that they should not be doing. Now, towards the end of the second season, it was heavily like teased that there was like something up with this mysterious dinosaur in the E750 chamber and what have you. And we come to find out this season what exactly that is. Now, apparently, Dr. Wu and crew were playing with genetic makeups again, and they made another hybrid dinosaur. This one was called a Scorpius Rex. Apparently they used like the DNA of a scorpion fish.
You just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea.
And we do find out during this season that this thing almost has like the same characteristic as that frog they used in the original Jurassic Park, because they only made 1, and somehow or another there ended up being 2. Now, the only thing that really got me about that one is because that second one grew fast. I mean, I don't know when it made that second one, but that second one grew fast because that was almost like the same height as the one that was frozen, right? Speaking of Dr. Wu, we actually get to see him again twice this season. Once when the girls go off to go searching for information to help out Sammy so she can help her family out. Because if you remember from like the first 2 seasons, that she was like there to help the other genetics lab at InGen to get samples of the dinosaurs so they could catch up to Dr. Wu and crew and recreating more dinosaurs. So they were like looking for evidence that they could use to help clear their name or help them out in some shape or form. Now they go to this secret lab that's at the north end of the island, and there they find this laptop, and on the laptop there is Dr. Wu, where he's talking about when they're developing Scorpius Rex and what have you, and like he actually got bit or hit by one of its stingers or something like that, and he got poisoned, so he almost died in the process. So you think you would learn your lesson, right? But no, apparently not. They just kept on going forward. They gave him the antidote, and he was actually making it out. And they had that Eddie dude was actually there. Now, with him being there, it kind of makes you wonder how long did it take for them to actually make the first one? I mean, like the first one like reproduced itself and made a second one like really fast. I mean, the kids were on the island for a total of 6 months. So it didn't seem like that he was loose for all that long, right? I mean, so I don't know, it kind of makes you wonder like, how long it took them to actually make the first Scorpius Rex, because like the second, when it was able to reproduce itself, like within at least I don't know, that time frame I'm really not really sure on. So, I don't know, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, the second time we see Dr. Wu is when he shows up at the mercenaries to retrieve that laptop so he can continue on with his work. Now, when he does actually show up, he shows up with like a couple of helicopters. One gets taken out pretty quick. But then he actually lands, and he has 3 mercenaries with him. But they only list Dave B. Mitchell comes to play Hawks and Reed. That's only 2, but there were 3 of them. So, but in the end, it didn't really matter anyway, because like 2 out of the 3 people that were with Dr. Wu end up dying anyway. The one guy died from like a pack of dinosaurs that he ran into thinking it was the kids, and the other one like fell in the water and he went around the bend, and I think he fell over a waterfall. I'm not really sure. I mean, they didn't really show it. They just gave us like the implication that he died, and the other guys go, yeah, well, he knew what he was getting into. But again, we didn't know what that guy's name was. So for all intents and purposes, he was pretty much like the red shirt of the group. You know what I'm saying? The kids had this brilliant idea, like they're going to copy the stuff that's on this laptop and they're going to use it so they can show the world and what Dr. Wu's been up to. And then Brooklyn gets captured and they end up having to give them the laptop for Brooklyn. Actually, it was Kenji that pretty much like gave him the laptop for Brooklyn and stuff like that. And I think, you know, if they actually have a season 4, the dynamic that they're going to have between Kenji and Darius, it's going to be interesting, because like Darius goes, aren't we cool? And then Kenji's like, no, the way you were willing to give up a friend for that laptop, that's not cool, man. He wasn't cool with that. That shows a lot of character for Kenji. And as much of a goofball he's been through all 3 of these seasons and stuff like that, that shows something. And it was kind of weird, like in the animation and stuff, like, depending on the angle that they were showing Kenji's face, you could kind of see the stubble on his face that was kind of growing. So obviously he's like the oldest one of the group, at least between the boys, right? Because he was the only one that actually, out of the 6 months, was actually kind of showing a little bit of stub going on there and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of neat that they actually showed that little bit of a detail. But it seemed like you had to see it at a certain angle, because like there were some angles they showed it where you really couldn't tell, or maybe it's just me. Now, even though that the girls destroyed the laptop, Dr. Wu and Hawks get away after finding out that another team has landed on the island, and they were actually able to obtain the Scorpius Rex sample, so they'll be able to continue on with their work. Now, I think this feeds into the next Jurassic World movie, Dominion, that comes out on June 10th of 2022. Now, according to what I've read, this season goes past the second movie. Now, I've never saw Jurassic World 2, so I don't know how this really relates to that movie. I mean, I never saw that one, so I guess I'm going to have to go back and watch that movie, so maybe I can actually see where this fits in to the story with that, right? And I saw a couple videos and articles that say that this series also feeds into that Jurassic World short we got back in 2019, Battle at Big Rock, that shows us that the dinos are getting off the island and spreading across the globe, which is pretty damn freaky if you stop and think about it. With the season ending with the kids sailing away to Costa Rica, but then there was that big huge tease that there's a possible bad dinosaur below decks on their boat. Who knows what's going to actually happen? Like, some people are already speculating online, like in Screen Rant and stuff like that, saying that, you know, that they're going to be able to, this shows that they're going to have another season, because why would they let it end right there? I mean, it's never stopped Netflix before. Hell, that's never really stopped any network before, leaving a show hanging kind of like that. I mean, they did that to that one show with Hilary Swank for Away. They're on their way to Mars. They canceled the show at the first season. We never know if they're ever going to make it back. So who knows? We may never find out these kids actually make it home. I kind of hope to find out they actually do. So let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. So I don't know. Have you watched Camp Cretaceous Season 3? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you like it? What did you think about it? Where do you think this ranks out of all 3 seasons? I mean, I like this one a lot. I think it's pretty damn cool. I'm hoping to get a season 4. I'm hoping we get to find out that these kids get home, man. I'm really hoping. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.